Back again, viewers, back again. It's not your boy Leroy, it's me, and today we're going to carry on our history lesson. We moved to the next building north from our last one in our Back in the Day series, and of course we're on the tower. Yes, that's right, Blackpool Tower, Blackpool's most famous landmark and the daddy of all buildings in the town. Okay, back to where it first started. It was first opened to the public in 1894 by Sir John Bickerstaff, who was a former mayor of Blackpool. The foundations were laid in 1891, so it took a little over 2 to 3 years to build. When it opened, it was the tallest man-made structure in the British Empire. It is 518 foot tall, and at its base is a 3-storey building made of Accrington brick. Accrington not being too far away from Blackpool. The Tower Circus and the Tower Ballroom were included in this building at the base of the tower, and the total cost for building the tower and the buildings around it, at the base of it should I say, was £290,000, which back in that day, in 1894, would have been quite a lot of money, I would imagine. Okay, it was designed in such a way that if it was to fall by accident or by whichever way, if it was weakened in any way, it was designed that it would fall towards the sea, which is in itself is a magnificent feat at that time. And apparently there was a time capsule buried under its foundation as well. So the architects who designed it were called James Maxwell and Charles Tuke, but both of them never saw the opening, because they both passed while it was being built. Both died while the building was being built. How ironic's that? Anyway, it was built by a construction company called Heenan and Froud, who also made the first electric crane. Okay, so they built a crane so they could do this job. So they not only built the biggest structure in the country at the time, they also built the first electric crane in the country as well to do it. So that in itself is a great feat as well. So the flagpole was lifted into place in December 1893, which saw the completion. But the buildings were not finished until the following year. So that's the buildings below we're talking about here, the 3-storey Accrington brick building. It was another year before that got open. So it took 3 years to build it from start to finish, basically. One person died on the building of the tower. It was a builder called Bill Campbell. He was killed in 1893 when he fell from scaffolding. So one person died. I mean, back in the day, there wasn't much in the way of health and safety. And when you think about it, it's even though one person's life is bad enough, it's only one person, which is, when you put it into context, let's take it for instance, the Sydney Harbour Bridge, which is 3 decades later, so they obviously would have learnt a lot in 30 years. 16 people died on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. So that's just to put it into context. Anyway, back to the tower. In its first year, the admission fee was 6p, so that's the equivalent of 2.5p now, and a further 6p to go up the tower in the lift. Okay, the lift can hold up to 30 passengers each, but the weight of the cars and the passengers cannot exceed 10 tons. The cables that carry them lifts have been tested to carry 100 tons, and automatic safety brakes are fitted to each of the lift in case they malfunction and plummet. So the Tower Circus, positioned at the base of the tower, we'll go back to that, positioned between its 4 legs basically in the base of the tower. That first opened to the public on the 14th of May 1894, and get this, it hadn't missed a season, not one single season, from 1894 up until, you got it, the COVID pandemic. That's the first year it missed. Right, the circus ring, I don't know if anyone's been to see it, but at the end of the show they lower it, and it gets lowered into water basically. It holds 42,000 gallons of water. So it does the grand finale with the dancing fountains and what have you. And it's only one of 4 left in the world that can do this, that can actually lower the floor into a water display at the end. Tower Circus itself, they were well known for their animal shows. They had all sorts of wild and exotic animals, and they also had a zoo in the tower. The Tower Zoo closed in 1973 following the opening of Blackpool Zoo itself, and the old aquarium lasted until 2010. Okay, so the aquarium in the base of the tower as well. I don't know if anybody has been to see the aquarium, but that was one of my favourite things to do when I was a young child, was go and see the aquarium in the tower. The tower itself was used as a radar station in World War II as well, which that's understandable, being the tallest structure in the country. In its lifetime, there's been 2 fires of significance in the tower. The first was in 1897, when all the wooden frameworks on 3 platforms at the very top of the tower were totally destroyed, and the cables holding the lift, they burned through, sending the car and the weight that we're talking about, the weight as one lift goes down, the weight goes up, so to keep it balanced. But the car and the weight, they went plummeting into the foundations. Hence, that's why now they have safety brakes on the lifts, so that can't happen again. Because the car and the weight, they buried themselves into the foundations. They hit it at such force. The second fire we talk about was in 1956, when the Tower Ballroom and the Tower Lounge were not totally destroyed. The Tower Lounge was pretty bad. The ballroom, the entire floor was gone. The repairs took 18 months to complete. They replaced over 30,000 blocks of oak, mahogany and walnuts to resurface the dance floor in the Tower Ballroom. So the Tower Ballroom, most famous person to work at the Tower Ballroom was Reginald Dixon. He was the organist and the Wurlitzer organ. So that's Reginald Dixon. He was known as Mr. Blackpool. Known as Mr. Blackpool for his outstanding work on the Wurlitzer organ, and he was very famous throughout the country and no doubt throughout the world. So the original Tower Bar, which was the first bar that was on the ground floor level, it was in the space which is now occupied by Greedy Pigs and Harry Ramsden's. It was renamed the Tower Lounge in the 1920s, and it was later to burn down in 14th of December 1956, which was when the ballroom burnt through into the floor below, destroying the Tower Lounge. It closed for 2 years. In May 1958, the Tower Lounge reopened, and it was completely rebuilt, and it could seat over 1,000 people, the same number as the original restaurant that was there that burnt down. After the 1956 fire, the corner space, which was originally the Tower Bar, was refurbished to be the Tower's Starlight Bar. It was later renamed the Continental Bar. So it's burned a few different names as the Tower Lounge Bar there. Up until 1974, which the rear of the tower where the Greedy Pigs restaurant is now, that was the Tennessee Pancake House. Remember that one very well as a child, the Tennessee Pancake House. It was on the corner dead opposite the Boots, which is now the Greedy Pigs restaurant. That later became the American Pancake House, and then KFC before becoming Greedy Pigs. In January 2021, KFC announced that it wasn't going to reopen once the coronavirus lockdown was over. So, it's the second thing that happened in the tower with the pandemic. Firstly, it stopped the concurrent running of the Tower Circus. That closed down, but it's now reopened. And of course, like I said there, the KFC was never to reopen afterwards. So there's a lot to answer for, really, the pandemic there on that tower building. On the 9th of November 2014, the Tower Lounge closed its doors forever. and it's now Harry Ramsden's Fish and Chip restaurant. That was the Tower Lounge. So in 1992 the Tower complex was renamed the Tower World, and it was opened by none other than Princess Diana. I think it was Princess Diana who opened that tower. The top of the tower is currently known as the Blackpool Tower Eye, at a height of 380 feet. The High is the highest observation deck in the northwest of England. That's got a bar up there, it's called Bar 380. It's a fully stocked atmospheric bar, 380 feet in the air. It also accompanies the Walk of Faith up there. The Walk of Faith is a glass floor panel. It's made of 2 sheets of laminated glass. It weighs half a ton and it's 2 inches thick. You can walk along this glass and look down below, straight down to the floor. And the comedy carpet, of course. So, the Tower Eye, before it was just known as the Tower Top. And in September 2011, anyway, 2011, Merlin were brought in to overlook the entire building. They do the day-to-day running of the building now, and it's now owned by the council, who brought Merlin in to manage the attractions for them. So that's it on the history of the tower from what I can remember, and now I'm going to take you for a walk around the perimeter and see what jogs my memory. Let's do it. Okay guys, here we go. Just get over the tram tracks here and across the road, and then we'll take a walk around the building and see what jogs my memory. Okay. Of course, this first corner here, Harry Ramsden's Chip Shop, Fish and Chip restaurant should I say. That was the original Tower Lounge bar entrance there. It's a bar that was open to the public without having to go into the tower, up the tower. Tower Lounge bar, which was very, very popular with tourists. If I remember rightly, it was one of the first bars in the town where they had the introduction of plastic glasses, hence the amount of problems that they used to have in there with drunks, etc. So that was the Tower Lounge bar there on that corner. Now I'm going to pay me attention to these pillars, these brick pillars on the front of the tower here. These used to have mosaics on them. The mosaics are mainly circus animals and so forth, ringmasters from the tower, advertising the tower basically. These Italian mosaic tile, I think they're Italian mosaic tiles, were on each pillar. And apparently, I couldn't be 100% certain because I've not been in the tower for a number of years myself, but apparently they've moved them inside and they're still in the foyer or on the staircase of the tower inside. So yeah, I'd like to see that because I haven't seen them since I was a child. So I'll probably go in the tower once it's reopened and have a wander around. I remember I used to go inside the main entrance here, and I used to look up to the left hand side as you go in. There's a big staircase, and there used to be a Wimpy bar at the top, Wimpy Hamburgers. I don't know if anyone remembers that. I remember it vividly. And then on the right hand side you had the big staircase going up, and you also had the lifts. Okay, moving along here, and they've got each of these pillars that's still there that used to have a mosaic on each of these pillars, like sea lions, horses, ringmasters, oh you name it, there was many of them. This is the entrance to the Tower Dungeon here, the Tower Dungeon, which is destroyed basically by a storm not too long ago, so they're obviously redoing this. So that'll be open, be refinished for next year, the Tower Dungeon, the entrance. So this is a temporary facade for the time being on the Tower Dungeon. Can't really tell you much about that, never been in it, not done it, but like I said, I will experience it in the near future, and I'll do a video at that time. Okay, here we have Haywood Street. This used to be a public street between Woolworths and the Tower back in the day. On the left hand side here, as we look up, there's a ramp goes down into the basement of the tower that they used to house the animals for the Tower Circus. The cage, I believe the cages are still there, and this is where they used to bring the elephants up the ramp in the morning, across the promenade, and go bathing in the sea. That was a sight to be seen when I was a child. It was all too familiar for the locals to see that in every morning, basically. It's to parade the elephants across to bathe in the sea, which was a lovely sight to see, to be fair. It's also, this alley here was also where the IRA tried to explode a bomb in a bin, but that was a foiled attempt by the IRA way back in time. I think it was in the 50s. I did do a video on it a couple of weeks ago. Okay, I'm going to take a walk around the side and the back and see what else jogs me memory there. So this is the entrance to the Tower Dungeon as well, but this also used to be the entrance to the aquarium back in the day when I was a kid. This was the entrance to the aquarium, the Tower Aquarium. It used to take most of the ground floor up. It was a fantastic exhibition of saltwater fish. Unfortunately, that was taken out in 2010, I think it was, 2010. So the end of the Tower Aquarium. Oh, these entrances here, oh wow. And I was a naughty boy back in the day, long before the days of CCTV, when we were children. Our little gang of children, our little clique, used to nick in these doors to get free entrance and go into the tower and use all its facilities. It used to be like a janitorial staircase just inside one of these doors with a lift as well, and we used to nick in there. Used to wait for people to come out and jam the door, and then up we went. That was back in the day before the CCTV. We used to have a wild old time in there. Okay, this the Blackpool Tower, this the booking office basically. This used to be a massive, well, a big double-fronted cigarette shop. I don't know if anyone can remember it. It was called Smoker's Choice. I can just see the sign now, a big yellow sign across the top. Smoker's Choice was there for years and years as I grew up. I remember it very, very well. Smoker's Choice there. And we're moving along now. Not too sure about them doors, but these doors here were Harry Ramsden's Fish and Chip restaurant. This was the rear entrance to the Tower Lounge bar, which seats 1,000 people. Very, very busy bar at the time. Very, very busy. Okay, now we're moving on here. Greedy Pig's restaurant, which was back in the day when I remember was the Tennessee Pancake House and the American Pancake House, followed by KFC. KFC closed down in the pandemic, and it never reopened. It is just recently reopened as Greedy Pigs eating and takeaways. Never tried it. I couldn't tell you about it. I'll have to have a look at it in the future. So there, we got the full circumference of the tower there, because we got back round to the front entrance here, which was Harry Ramsden's. Harry Ramsden's, like I said before, was the Tower Lounge on this corner. So that's it. That's a tour around the base of the tower. The tower's not open at the moment, but like I said before, I will promise to go in there and see if I can jog my memory, because I used to go in there quite often. I used to frequent it quite a lot when I was a child, and I'd love to go back in there and see what jogs my memory. So that's definitely going to be coming up in the near future. I think it opens around about March, so I'll get myself a couple of hours spare, and I'll go in there and I will have a look and do a bit of filming for you and see what jogs my memory. So I really do enjoy doing these videos. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. It's not your boy Leroy. I'm signing off. I'm getting out of here. If you like this video and this type of video, hit the like button, subscribe, put in your comments below, and it really spurs me on. I love doing these historical videos, so just put your comments below what you think, and I'll do some more in the future. So that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching it and taking me on a trip down memory lane. Basically, that's the tower, the past and the present. Okay, guys, that's it for today. That's it from sunny Blackpool here in the depths of winter. It's me, not your boy Leroy. I'm signing out. I'm out of here. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell. You know the one. Ding, 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 ding.